that township has always had people from all over the continent. With no friction, with no nothing. Historically, the African community here has never been xenophobic about other Africans. So, 2008, we're way past 6 o'clock now. 2008, all manner of trouble breaks out in Alexander Township in Johannesburg. Attack on these foreigners, particularly Zimbabweans. Then it spread elsewhere. Xenophobia, Afrophobia. So I say, when I saw that thing, I was in government, I was president. I say, but this is it's not Alexander Township. Alex for decades has had Zimbabweans and Mozambicans and this and that, and never ever this conflict. Why? There's a mistake we made as government, and not to disclassify an intelligence document about what happened in Alexander 2008. That thing was organized to drive the Zimbabweans out of the country back to Zimbabwe because there were elections in Zimbabwe. It was people who were being driven out, they were going to vote against Bob Mugabe. An intelligence report which has got the names and the dates and venues where people met and planned this and so on. It's presented as a xenophobic attack by the people of Alex against him. It was wrong. It was organized, systematic for a political purpose. I'm saying the mistake we made, we should have declassified that intelligence report. It's got the names and the dates and the venues of the meetings which were organized in order to produce this outcome. We've got many challenges of the economy here. Unemployment, very serious problem. Economy is in crisis. I'm a former president of this country, and you'll never ever convince me that this economy is in crisis because of foreigners. It's not true.
The xenophobic attacks in South Africa in 2008 were a tragic and violent series of events that began in the month of May and spread across various parts of the country. The violence was primarily directed at foreign nationals, particularly those from other African countries such as Zimbabwe, Mozambique, and Malawi. The attacks were marked by brutal assaults, looting, and arson, leading to significant loss of life, displacement, and destruction of property. The violence began on the 11th of May, 2008, in the township of Alexandra, located in the Gauteng province, north of Johannesburg. South African residents of Alexandra attacked migrants, accusing them of taking jobs and housing and contributing to crime. The initial attacks resulted in the deaths of 2 people and injuries to 40 others. The violence quickly spread to other parts of Gauteng, including the settlements of Diepsloot and Tembisa, and then to other provinces such as KZN, Mpumalanga, the Western Cape, and the Northwest. By the end of May, the xenophobic violence had claimed the lives of 62 people. Among the dead were both foreign nationals and South Africans who were mistaken for foreigners. The violence also led to the displacement of approximately 100,000 people, many of whom sought refuge in makeshift camps, churches, and police stations. The attacks caused widespread fear and panic among foreign nationals, leading to voluntary repatriation to their home countries. Former State President Thabo Mbeki has suggested the deadly 2008 xenophobic attacks in Alexandra were part of a planned operation to drive Zimbabweans back home, to vote out Robert Mugabe. Mbeki made the startling revelations on the 4th of September, 2024, during a conversation with students at the University of South Africa in Pretoria. He said there was an intelligence report, which he was privy to as president at the time, that lists the people and the motives behind the attacks. In March 2008, Zimbabwe held their general elections. After Morgan Tsvangirai and Mugabe failed to get a 50% majority, a runoff election was announced to take place in June. Meanwhile, on the 12th of May of the same year, a wave of xenophobic attacks flared up in Alexandra and later spread to different parts of the country. Mbeki, who was president at the time, said the motives behind the attacks were to drive Zimbabweans back home to vote in the runoff elections. An intelligence report with names, dates and venues where people met and planned this and so on. It's presented as a xenophobic attack by the people of Alexandra. It was wrong, it was organized, systematic, for a political purpose. I'm seeing the mistake we made. We should have declassified that intelligence report. Mbeki said the economic crisis in South Africa is not caused by foreigners. However, the country does need to strengthen its border management processes. The South African government and law enforcement agencies faced significant criticism for their slow and inadequate response to the violence. Police arrested more than 500 people on charges of public violence, malicious damage to property, and grievous bodily harm. However, the courts struggled to process the cases, and many were dropped due to lack of evidence. By early 2009, 1,400 suspects had been arrested, but only 128 individuals had been convicted, while 208 cases had been withdrawn. Several factors contributed to the xenophobic violence in 2008. A report by the Human Sciences Research Council identified intense competition for jobs, commodities, and housing as a primary cause. The influx of foreign nationals into South Africa, particularly from Zimbabwe, due to political and economic instability in their home countries, exacerbated tensions. Additionally, local leadership and township politics played a role in organizing and inciting the attacks. The aftermath of the violence saw various efforts to address the underlying issues and prevent future occurrences. Civil society organizations, religious groups, and community leaders worked to promote tolerance and integration of foreign nationals. The government also launched initiatives to improve service delivery and address the socio-economic challenges faced by both South Africans and foreign nationals. The 2008 xenophobic attacks in South Africa remain a dark chapter in the country's history, highlighting the deep-seated issues of poverty, unemployment, and inequality that continue to plague the nation. The events serve as a reminder of the need for continued efforts to promote social cohesion and protect the rights and dignity of all individuals, regardless of their nationality. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates.